Hello. This is Sharon. I'm just gonna grab some of the products we're gonna use today. Hello, welcome. It's a wonderful day here today, and we are gonna be exploring some Redesign and Prima products. So I'm just gonna give Facebook a second to start advertising and getting the feed going. Let me know if you guys can see and hear okay. Hey there. All right, I see people waving. Great. All right, so I'm Sharon. I work with Prima and Redesign. And today what I want to do is kind of marry the two. So we have our furniture experts that do Facebook Lives in here all the time, and they are amazing. What I'm gonna do is like a smaller kind of demo, but I'm gonna bring in some of our favorite Prima products from our mixed media line. And hopefully you'll get some fun ideas and new products to try on your furniture, or again, you can use them on smalls, which work really well. Hey Marta, Shannon, Patricia. I know I'm gonna miss people, so hello to everyone. And hopefully Adrienne will pop in here. She's gonna mod for me, but any of you guys who have played with these products can certainly help other people out. This little sample that I am showing right here is a swatch card of our stick and style stencils with waxes. They're probably my favorite way to use the stick and style stencils. So what I'm gonna do is flip the camera around. Just wanted to say hi. Give me 1 second here. So I have quite an array of stuff on my table to use, and I'm gonna lock the camera in just 1 second so you don't get sick with it rocking around like that. All right. If you get seasick, don't watch this part right here. Okay, it's just gonna rock a tiny little bit till it gets its focus. All right, now I just gotta give a shout out to our Redesign ambassadors and our Prima educators and our Prima design team. They have been working so hard doing Facebook Live, so check out our Create with Prima group, and of course our Redesign with Prima group. And also, and this is totally a total different craft genre, but our art philosophy team is superb. And they, you know, I always want to watercolor like they do, but I am not that talented, but I love to watch what they do anyway. Okay, so just giving a pat on the back to all of our lines at Prima today. And today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some Redesign and I'm gonna marry it with a little bit of our Finnabair line. Now, our Finnabair line includes a lot of different pastes and gels, waxes, paints. Finnabair is an amazing designer. Her name is Anna, but she, you know, she has that really cool art name, Finnabair. And she creates our art basics, our art extravagance. There's another one I'm missing. Someone help me out. Anyway, different lines, art ingredients that you can use as bases to prep, prime, and use as adhesives. And then she's got fun pastes that add texture and color, and oh my gosh, lots of different cool things there. And then there's paints, metallique and sparks, and waxes. Okay, there's more than this. I just pulled out a couple today. I could really be on here all day long demoing with her products, but I don't want to leave out, did I show you this one? Plaster paste. Oh my gosh. There's rust paste, cement paste. Those of you that know the Finnabair line, shout out what some of your favorite pastes or art mediums that she makes that you love to play with. So many different things, but don't forget the Redesign products too. Of course, they are specifically designed for the Redesign line and for furniture DIY use. So today I'm going to do a chalk paste and a decor wax just to show you some of the options to pair with our Stick and Style stencils. All right, so I have a couple out here, and what you're gonna see are the smaller white rolls. Those are the original first release Stick and Style stencils. They're 4 inches, but the rolls themselves are 15 yards. Huge, you can see that. And they're reusable. You wipe off the surface, it's glossy, and reuse it. It sticks maybe, it depends on what you're sticking it on, of course. So multiple reuses. When I'm using them, I often get up to 8 uses, and I'm sticking it on paper normally. But I do wipe it off right away. I let it air dry, and then I roll it back up. So this roll, great for teaching classes. You can hand a bit out and you don't have to do stencil cleanup. So that's a great thing. If you teach classes or you have a store or you want to send a little bit in a kit, this is perfect to section out, roll up on something that that you can peel it back off of, and it's perfect to add to a kit. Now we came out with the brand new edition. These babies are 6 inches. Let me grab one. That cute polka dot. 6 inches, and the rolls are smaller. They are 3 yards. So you're gonna see a decent price line because it's much smaller. The roll itself is so cool. And we had a big demand to do smaller rolls but wider designs. And hey, Prima listens. So they did. They came out with a bunch of these, and they're in aqua. I do not have every single one. I do think there's 5. I might be missing the mini polka dot. And then on the, look at that. And then on the smaller original release, I think I'm missing the tiles for sure, but we'll get through the different patterns as I demo so that I'm not talking your ear off right here in the beginning. But look how pretty these are. Lots of different styles. You can find these on the Redesign with Prima site just to look at the designs, but really, and this is so important, and I'm not trying to lecture, support your local stores right now. A lot of them are trying to ship out or do curbside. Support your local distributors. They need us to help them out right now. So look for them. If you are a consumer, find these, run and get them. They're so fun to play with. And I often reuse mine, as I said. It depends on what I use it with, but they roll back up. They clean up really nicely. And last time I was on here with the Stick and Style about a month ago, I did a bunch of swatches and showed you different things. Today, I'm gonna just pull out a couple new products and a couple of the ones that you might have missed from before. So I got my sheet down here. And what I wanna start with are some of the less messy, because then I normally clean as I go, but when you're live, you know how hard that is. All right. So I'm gonna start, let's go ahead and do the big polka dot. Oh my gosh. Anyone else love polka dots like me? Okay. All you do is pull off what you need. Now I'm using watercolor paper. This works great on metal, wood, help me out, glass, plastic. It sticks to anything you can stick it to, it works really well. And not only that, but not just flat surfaces. Oh my gosh, that's the brilliant part of Stick and Style. It works so well with rounded surfaces. So if you're trying to do the inside of a drawer or the outside of a cabinet, you know how stencils don't work well? With Stick and Style, they just wrap around. So that it's brilliant. So let me start with a decor wax. And this is just very simple. If you haven't seen the Redesign waxes, let me show you side by side with Fin Wax so you get an idea of the size. Okay, this one's much smaller because these are made to go on furniture, and these were made for crafts. But hey, we don't need to follow those rules. All right, so I like to take the lid, if there's any in there, which there is. I'll just pick up a little bit, work it around. Sometimes I swish it around on paper towel first because I don't want too much on my project, but when this is a big project. This is a big piece. It's gonna work really smoothly, and I got a lot of paper to cover because this is a big design. Now you would be doing this, the wax, on whatever your surface you're working on, and you can use the stencil brushes. These are Finn's Dabber stencil brushes, but Redesign also has brushes. So I like these because they're just smaller. They come in a 3 set, or you can buy singles in the larger sizes. And you know, you just pull that wax off of the glossy surface. Dude, I really am doing, you know, I'm used to doing more cards and tags. So you don't use very much when you're doing a card or a tag. But this is a 12-inch piece of paper, and I just wanted you to get the full effect here. Now the wax is gonna look glossier when you're working on a surface that doesn't soak it in. Paper, you know, it's absorbent. So keep that in mind. I like to demo on paper just because it's so cost effective. But if you're working on anything else, you're gonna get more of a shine with that, just so you know. And then wax will seal itself. It will harden and seal itself. So you want to take paper towel and just work the wax out of your brushes. You can use a cleaner, just soap and water if you want. I work it out on my old paper towels and keep reusing them. And then once in a great moon, I wash my brushes. But I'm pretty bad about it. So I just want you to know, as long as you get most of it out of your brush will be okay. All right, so right now I could totally take this and clean off if I wanted to with a wet wipe or a washcloth, or I can peel it up and then clean it. And this is actually the magical part. You get such brilliant, crisp, and clean lines because that stencil, stick and style stencil, it stuck to the paper really well, and it's gonna stick to your wood, it's gonna stick to everything, and then you just clean this off and reuse it. It's a little bit less sticky right now because I obviously stuck it onto a fibrous paper. So be careful too. If you are using it for the first time on paper, you might wanna just touch the back to get a little bit of that tackiness off so it doesn't tear your paper. All right, that's a Redesign wax, and that is our really large polka dot. What I'm gonna do now is just pair up and go below with a Finnabair wax to show you how cool it is. So I might pick a smaller, what do you guys think? I might do a smaller one. All right, and let's hope I can stay in the lines on this. The smaller 4x4 has a smaller margin. Keep that in mind. So you have less room in case your brush and you're sloppy like I am and you go over. You don't want to go past that line where the 6-inch has a much greater margin on the edge. All right, so I already picked out old denim. And Finn's waxes come in glossy and matte. Should I switch? I could do the matte one. Let's do the matte one. So I picked out a charcoal black. Her matte waxes dry matte. That's the only difference. There are, let me see if I can remember them. There's a white, which is amazing. And then the charcoal. There's a rusty brown, a rusty red, a patina green, and a patina blue. Now those are brand new releases that just came out in January. And they're basically sold out at every craft store that I know of. So if you have them and you are a retailer, people are gonna want them. So let us know that you have them. All right, so this is charcoal black. I have a little bit of a wiggle room on this edge. And I wanna say the charcoal black it's not a true deep black. I think it has a tiny bit of the kind of the bluish purple hue in it. I love it. That's why I love it. So it's a little spicy. It's not a boring black. Oh, I went over a little bit over there. And another cool thing is if you're using this on paper and you put less, you will get the actual pattern of the paper, which I might do down here instead of covering it 100%, just to show you the variation you can get when you're using this, depending on how much you apply. So again, I'll try to come up close for this. We're just gonna peel that off. It's really like magic, isn't it? The lines are so crisp on this. Look at that. Now, I was telling you, I applied it much thicker down here for a very solid look, but when you come down to this left side, you can see a little bit of the paper fibers coming through. I love that. I think that looks so cool. So there, that is a Finnabair wax. That one is the matte in charcoal black. And the top design was a bit glossy. That was, hang on, I know it's gold, Eternal. So both apply beautifully, same kind of concept. They work on all types of surfaces. All right, that's the easiest way to use the waxes or to use the stencil is with the waxes. And you can see you get amazing results, super easy. The cleanup's not bad at all. And you know, after demoing these, sometimes I cut this off and I use this as a mixed media piece on a tag or like a background. So you don't even need to throw these away once they're done sticking. Use it as an embellishment if you're doing a craft. Or give it to your kids to use. They'll have fun with it. Are we all looking for ideas for kids right now? To keep them busy. Mine are not bad. Mine are old enough to entertain themselves, but I have grandbabies and they're going a little stir crazy, locked inside the house right now. All right, so my next thing I want to show you is chalk paste. Have you guys tried the chalk paste? Anybody? I love it. It comes, now this one is Provence. It comes with this cool little sealer. And I should have done this before. It pops up and it smells really good. It's super thick. Now, I heard a couple tips from some of our Redesign ambassadors. They are brilliant. Some of them water down the waxes and some of them like water down the chalk paste. I have watered down this before to use as like a chalk type of paint. And it worked really, really well. But it is made super thick so you can spread it on with like a spread pal or a silicone brush, or you can brush it on. So you get lots of different varieties with this. Let me take, let's try this one. Okay, I don't know the name on this one. I only have the box for one. I was demoing these. I got some prototypes. So this is one of the new Redesigned Stencils, and I have used this one already today. So it's not as sticky as it was before. So let's hope I get perfect results. It pressed down really nicely. For this sample, I am gonna take it, I'm gonna brush a little bit. Let's leave that there. We're gonna brush a little bit on, and then I'll spread some on too, just on the same sample so you can see the difference with the technique. And brushing this on is similar to wax in that you get almost the same results. It's going to be matte though and dry with obviously like a chalky type of finish. And you can do very thick all the way down to, you know, that almost chalky look. I love this. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you don't like scented stuff, open a window. But if you do, you will love that. All right. Really working my brush to death here. Now this you can clean up with soap and water. So I didn't actually bring water. I do, but it's not in a cup to actually wash my brush out. So let me just grab my washcloth. Try not to use paper towels right now because they're hard to find at times. I'm just using up some I already had in my craft room sitting around. For the second part, I'm gonna take the spread pal. I'm gonna dip a little bit of this out. I might need a little more than that, I'm not sure. You decide the thickness based on how you apply it with this tip. It's so cool. So if I do a perpendicular type of application, I'm gonna get it super thin. And if I, hang on, like that. So you can kind of still see the pattern through, but if I bring it down, I can apply it very thick. Look at that. I'm gonna get some of that off. And I have a much bigger margin here for error for applying my art mediums and paste. So I really like the 6-inch ones for this. All right. Trying to peel up the extra here. You don't use much at all, especially with the spread pal, and the stencil is thin and flexible. So you don't even, it's so cool. You don't use much at all. You can wash that off now, or if you really hate that, you can toss it. What I do is I lay down a piece of plastic from like a kit or anything, and I set my stick and style on the plastic and then wash it. It works really well that way, and I'm not staining everything in my house. All right, let me just get this little guy cleaned up, and we'll peel that off and we'll see what happened. I want to do it up close. All right, so that was with the spread pal. You get a nice thickness on that. And then we went to the brush. I hope my camera is focusing. A bit of a denim look, you know, a little bit of the fibers are showing through. It looks really classy. And then the stencil brush down here. I think you use the least amount when you use the stencil brush or the dabbing brush. But if you want a thick, even application, go with the spread pal. They're silicone, they're really flexible, and they're beautiful. Look at that. So that needs to be cleaned off. Give me 1 second. All right. So that was the chalk paste, and I would say that it's a brilliant type of paste. I don't think we have an equivalent in the paper mixed media side on Prima, so you definitely going to want to try the Redesign one for that. Now on the other side of this, I'm going to pull out a paste. I got to find it. So it's called Icing Paste. Now this is a Finnabair product, and we have multiple colors. It's going to dry shiny. Hang on, I used it already this morning. All right, it's gonna dry glossy where the chalk paste dried matte. And they're very similar bottles, but you get a different finish on this. And again, you can apply it with a brush, or you can apply it with the spread pal. So let me just grab this cutie. Isn't that fun? Think of this in a nursery. I just love it when we get designs that work, that, you know, for kind of a funky retro look, and it can work for a boy or a girl. I know I'm layering here just a little bit. I need to get all the way onto my work mat though, because I don't want to color my boards. All right, so we're gonna start again with just a little bit. I hope I clean this. And I usually work it out in my lid so I don't get big globs of it. Now when you're doing it with the stencil brush, it's not gonna be as shiny, especially on paper. Okay, you're doing a thinner layer, but you will get shine. But remember, when you're applying to paper, it's gonna soak some of that up. All right, so the next part, I'm gonna clean that up, and I am gonna apply with the spread pal. So I actually don't need my lid, do I? There's not much in there. Let me grab some more, just a little bit like that, and we can work quickly. You already saw how you can apply it super thick, or how you can bend this spread pal really flat and get thin or thick application. So I'm working my way over to the other side of the table, and I realize my mic's on this side. Sorry about that. So use your spread pal to get thick or thin application. It's totally up to you. All right. Trying to get that all off of there. Are you guys ready to see this? How fast was that? The spread pal is super fast. You can apply over a large surface really quickly. All right, here we go. Are you starting to see a little bit of the glimmer? And sometimes you need that in your life. So if you're looking for a little bit of bling bling on your projects, I would say the icing pastes are amazing. But look, with the brush, it's really subtle. And then with the spread pal, because you're putting more on with that, it's a bit glossier. And compared to the chalk, of course, which dries matte, you can see the different finishes. So that is icing paste. It comes in the most beautiful colors. And that is a Finnabair product. It's so it's from Prima, and it's in our Finnabair mixed media line. So that's icing paste. All right, are you ready for some more? I want to do a quick sample with the golden nugget paste, because I love this paste. It doesn't look like a lot in here, but wowza, once you apply it, it's amazing. Let me see if I got some smaller papers. I had some. All right, I'm gonna have to use, where did I put all my paper? You know what? This is a finished sample right here on white. Oh, I know what I can do. Here's my other papers. So you can apply it on white or on black. Oh my gosh, look at that. So I'm gonna let me put it on black for you. I know this is a tiny sample and I'm like way down here, but it's gonna look gorgeous. Hang on. How will this look with our little seashell design? Gorgeous. Now for this, I would use the spread pal so you get a nice thick application. It has a bit of sand in it and it's gritty, so you're gonna hear that. And I apologize, I've been using my jar of this for a lot of different projects, and it, you know, it's not brand new, so it doesn't look all clean and shiny. That means it's well loved. I'm trying to get extra on here. There we go. Could you hear it scraping in a little bit? It has texture in there. So that one is called Golden Nugget. It's beautiful. And let me just pull this off. So I'll come back here. Oh, I stuck my finger in it. If I messed it up, it's because my finger went in it. Oh, look at that. It's gonna dry clear, okay? So you won't have that opaque look, and then it's gonna look stunning. This is a great product to try on furniture if you're looking for a little bit of texture to add in. So again, this is what it dries like on white, and then when you actually put it on a darker surface, it's just stunning. It's much more subtle than on the white, but look at that. It is beautiful. And you can feel the texture. And of course you can paint on top of that too if you don't want the glittery look. It has a little bit of glitter in it, but not too much. I think this paste is a bit more masculine. I really like it. So we'll see how that dries, and I'll show you at the end of the show. All right, what else do I have? I have some of the other really cool plaster paste. Anyone tried that? Okay, so I already did a sample just because when it dries, it looks so different, and I didn't want you to have to just look at it wet and imagine what it looked like dried. So this is the plaster paste. It's gonna give you a feel just like plaster. It's so cool. So it's a great way to add some texture. And again, you do it on stick and style. It's going to be a little bit thinner, and you can apply it with like a silicone brush, and you're gonna get kind of this effect. It's so cool. And it can be painted. It dries kind of matte. So let me go ahead, and I already used that design, so I might pick a smaller one. Well, we're gonna do flowers with the plaster paste. All right, we're just gonna stick it on here, and then hopefully this is stirred up. I stirred it up this morning. All right, and let's take our silicone brush for this one. Finnabair has a bunch of silicone brushes, which I think are perfect when you don't want to get your fingers in there. And you can, again, apply this thick or thin. That is totally up to you. And when you're using the stick and style, you don't need to worry about it gooping behind the design. So do what you want to do to get your texture. You could leave it on super thick. You just will have a little bit of a mess cleaning that stick and style, but the brilliance there is, if you want, you can toss that. Oh, I love that. The design was a little girly, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of fun in with that and do my little pounce. Okay, we'll see. I haven't done this before with the plaster paste, so we'll have to see if it actually holds its design or not. Now the plaster paste is super cool. It comes in an 8.5 ounce jar. It is by Finn. And let's pull that off. Now this is white on white, so it might be a little bit harder to see. Oh, I love it. I love that it's not the smooth look like we got up here, which is still cool, but it has kind of that pounce textured look, which I don't like on ceilings, but I love on this. Look at that. Now again, you can color the plaster paste. You can color a lot of Finn's art mediums with liquid acrylics that we also sell in her line, or any paint that you have. All right, so one more little peek. That's the 6-inch leopard or cheetah, it's leopard. And then it was with plaster paste, and then I used the 4-inch floral on that one. All right, let me show you the copper crackle. Am I losing you guys? Are you having fun? Okay, so the copper crackle, Finn has a bunch of different crackle pastes, and I would say these are so hard to get sometimes, especially the clear crackle and the white crackle. If you ever see them, grab them. We sell out so fast. So the copper crackle is a texture paste, and let's see, I think I have platinum. Let me show you real quick. There's a platinum, and do I have white, which is just white, but the white is so cool. There's different colors though, but the copper, oh, it looks great. Now, the crackles depending on how thin or thick you apply it. So when you're applying over the stick and style stencil, which is very thin, you might get little tiny crackles. I don't know if that is going to focus. I hope. I'm trying to get one where you can actually see. Does that show? All right, you do need to let it just air dry for an hour or two, and then it will crackle. This was probably the best one right here. Where's my finger? All right, and you can apply it with like the silicone brush or a spread pal. If you want these deeper crackles, just apply it thicker. That's the whole trick with the crackle paste. Thin for small crackles, thick for thick crackles, and then you're gonna wanna let this dry a couple hours. You can use a heat gun to speed it up, but I feel like you get the better crackles when you just let it sit and air dry. So, I'm trying to find a bigger design. I might have to do polka dots. And it will not dry in time for the show, but you get an idea of how cool it is. Which I used the same one earlier, which you guys saw, but I'm gonna reuse it. It's all dried. So I'm gonna take this and use my little spread pal. I would love it to have really thick crackles. The problem is just apply it thick over the polka dots then. So it really depends on how you're applying it. I really scraped it off thin on the top portion, and that's why I got such fine crackles. All right, so I want to kind of scrape in between the polka dots and not waste that. And then I'll go back and pounce the polka dots to get more crackle on them. Does that sound like a good plan? I'm putting all of my stick and style used pieces over on a sheet on my counter, and I'm gonna be cleaning for like a half hour after I get done. So where do you buy these products? Oops, I didn't get that stuck down. These are available at any place that sells Prima products. So if you are a retailer and you have Redesign, check out some of these Finnabair mixed media products, because they're going to give you some really cool options for adding different textures and finishes on your pieces. And you know, that's kind of what we need right now to get customers, is say, hey, look what I got that's new. And we have tons of videos on the Prima Marketing Inc. YouTube channel on how to use this, but of course this live will also be videotaped. It will be in the video option. Oh my gosh, look how easy. Well, I already used this one. It still has a nice, pretty crisp design. I was sloshing that stuff pretty thick on there, and hopefully in about an hour I'll get really thick crackles on that. Is that brilliant or what? And I have seen the ambassadors use this polka dot transfer in such gorgeous ways. Oh my gosh. Now, the frugal part of me says, set this on the silicone mat and scrape off the rest and put it back in the jar. And that is totally what I would do if I wasn't live right now. All right, I think I just have one more to show you. I actually already showed you the demo for this one, but this is our icing paste in vintage gold, and now we have a finished sample. It uses one of the large stick and style, and it's so crisp. Look at that design. I mean, I'm not really careful, but you can tell it doesn't matter. The design, you know, the stencil sticks to the background, so your design comes out flawless no matter what you do. And then this is applied super thick, so you could definitely use it to create texture, but it dries glossy. So the icing pastes are gonna dry glossy. And those are in the Finnabair line. She has fashion colors, and I'm not sure she calls them fashion colors, but she has the metallics all the way to colored, like blues and pinks and purples and greens, and like that. I just call them fashion styles because they're trendy. All right, do you guys, let me move this real quick. Do we have any questions? I know I have the 3D gloss gel out here, but I ran out of paper. Let me see if, has anyone tried the 3D gloss gel? Now this is a brilliant gel. Finn uses it all the time to glue heavy products down. It's a really good glue, but it also creates a 3D design over a stencil. It is gonna dry clear. Okay, so it's great if you just wanna paint on top of it with your furniture paint, chalk paints or whatever you wanna use. But you can also color these, and that's the brilliant part. Let me just do that right now. I might pull out a Sparks. So she has these little paint pots, and they come in, I don't know how many colors we have now. There are Sparks, which are super glimmery, and Metallique, which have a little bit of glimmer. And then she has impasto paints if you want a matte finish. So look at that. What you can do, well, I don't need to wipe that off. I'll just put that right there. What I'm gonna do is just color a little bit of the gloss gel and create my own gel. Now, in the Finn line, we also have liquid acrylics, which are super concentrated drops, and I should have actually gone and grabbed those. But this will work too. You can really color the gel with almost anything. Mica powder, your paint that you're using, any paint. Just mix it up. It's really jelly because it's 3D. So it wants to like hold its shape here, and I'm trying to like say, hey, cooperate with me here. That may be the best we get, but you get the idea. So for color, it lightened it just a little bit, not a lot. Okay, and then I'm gonna just take a piece of paper, and maybe I'll do our seashells. Which one didn't I do? I don't think I did this one. Let's do this one. It's a beautiful pattern. It has beautiful flowers in there. What is this one called? Okay, I think it's this, Cornell Garden. So we had Cornell Garden, Royal Anne Garden, our seashells, which are Eastern Fountain. There's a Casablanca tile, Calypso lattice, and I might be missing one. All right, so I kind of mixed it right in the middle of my workspace here. Brilliant. I am so brilliant sometimes. Let me just move that over. Okay, and then, sorry, someone coming in the front door. of course. And I am live. Anyone else have this happen to them? I am on live right now, so just clear that. Thank you. I'm almost done, so we'll wrap up. All right, so I mixed the 3D gel with the Sparks paint, and I do want a thicker kind of application, but again, look, you can totally scrape off all of that if you wanted and just get a nice soft look, but I want more of a 3D effect. So I'm going to grab this and watch. It is so cool. It's probably the thickest gel. Hang on, the pattern probably goes this way. Look at that. I love it. It's super thick. And look, custom colors. So that will dry with the pink color. You won't have any, it won't be opaque or white. It will be that pink spark color. All right, so that's the 3D gloss gel, and I have the jumbo tub. You can get a smaller one if you want to try that. And that was mixed with a Sparks paint, which we have tons of colors, so you'll find one that you like. And that was at the Cornell Garden, one of our original stick and style stencils. All right, so let me know in the comments which product you loved best. Okay, and I am just gonna quickly show you all of them so that you can let me know which one you really, really liked. So we had our Finnabair Icing Paste. Let me try and find it. Finnabair Icing Paste. Great design, and that was with the really cool brand new stick and style stencil. We had Copper Crackle Paste, and that one was mixed with 2 of our new stick and style stencils, and that is the Copper Crackle Paste right here, and this will be crackling. Remind me not to set stuff on that one. Okay, we had our Finnabair Plaster Paste. I'm gonna lose all my bottles here. All right, and that again was on the leopard and then one of the floral stick and style. Super cool effect. That is the Plaster Paste. Very, very cool. You can definitely paint on those. What else do we have? I totally don't remember. Chalk paste? Yes, you can tell by the color. So we had chalk paste on the top, brushed on and applied with the Spread Pal. And then on the bottom, I think I had, was that the icing paste that I just showed you? Probably. So a matte to a glossy. All right. And then we had waxes. So we started with a Redesign wax on the top in Eternal. And you get a little bit of glimmer there on paper. And it is a little shimmery on like metal. And then we did the charcoal black again, you know, with the brush thick and then thinner down there. Are you guys liking these? Okay, we did the golden nugget. It has not dried yet, but it is starting to. And it will just be, it's tone on tone. That's what I love about that. Okay, and when it is dry, this is my poor sample I travel all over with, on white or black, that's what it's gonna look like. Super cool. And let me show you the jar for that. That is the golden nugget, and that is a Finnabair product. Okay. And did I finish with, I swear I did more than that. It feels like I did more than that. This is the 3D gloss gel. See, I need bigger margins on all of my stick and style. So I definitely need like a 1-inch margin. That was with the 3D gloss gel mixed with a Sparks paint, and it's brilliant. And I did this one when the alarm went off. All right, so I hope you guys had fun. I hope you learned a lot. Keep checking in on our Redesign with Prima group. We have lives all the time. The ambassadors are amazing. They're in here with really professional tips and techniques with all of our products. And also check out our Create with Prima group. We do more mixed media, paper craft, art journaling, and that sort of thing on that page. But as you can see today, I married all of these products, both Redesign and the Prima products, and just showed you how you can create really, really cool colors and techniques with our stick and style stencils. All right, and look these up. You know you need them, right? All right, thanks guys. Thanks for sharing your time today. I appreciate all of you. All right, bye-bye.